Thank you all for being here tonight for our work session agenda work session, I should say. September 10th, 2015. We are attempting to set the agenda for the September 24th, 2015 council meeting. Mr. Manning mentioned to us last time that he would not be here tonight. So that is, he is absent. There's probably additional information that will be shared later in regard to other people that we would normally see here. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. Janet, if we could have the roll call, please.
Chair Lambert.
Here.
Vice Mayor Griffin.
Here.
Councilmember Cagle.
Here.
Councilmember Manning. Councilmember Sewell.
Here.
Interim City Manager Williams.
Here.
City Attorney Moore.
Here. All right, looks like potentially a fairly light agenda the next time. There's anticipated to be no old business to deal with. 3 items of new business. Item A, an unnumbered resolution, unnumbered ordinance for approval of use on review for fire station at 1410 St. Thomas. That's simply rezoning that property to make it appropriate for us to. It's done. Okay.
It's a use on review. You can have a fire station in any zoning, so it doesn't have to be a
Gotcha.
zone. We just have to approve the use of it.
Were we going to send something to the planning commission about making that a 0?
Well, we had discussed that. Typically with that, the 0 line is still is a requirement of 10 feet off of each property line with 25 foot in the rear. So that really would not help us at all. What we would get would be the same thing that we would do with the zone.
Okay.
Zoning that commercial wouldn't give us 0 lot line.
Do have the building inspector here tonight, and we've discussed it, and you still have that 10 foot on each side of 25 foot. And we were hoping to go that 0 when we first presented that and heard of that. We started looking into it, and still that you still have that buffer if you would 10 foot on each side, 25 foot on the rear.
All right. Are there any other questions about that or comments? I hear none, so we'll move to item B, an unnumbered resolution for approval of engineering and design proponent for the multimodal grant project, Ringgold Road Street improvements. Does anyone have information on that? Okay.
That's it. We're still waiting on Southeast Tennessee Development to possibly space.
Gotcha. Okay. So they may or may not be ready, let's say in 2 weeks. We'll take a wait and see approach on that. Item C, another unnumbered resolution, approval of bids for street paving project.
Next of those should be ready to go out Monday.
Okay. Mr. Cagle, you look like you wanted
Well,
to
I
say
just
something.
asked, that's the one that I questioned last time about whether it was all in one. So it's not going to be rebid this time, or be more explanatory.
That's my understanding. It's the same issue.
Okay.
It is. They had said that 331 or whichever it was for materials.
And that's what I was going to after that.
Okay. All right, any other questions? Comments? Anything at all?
time.
Mr. Kagan?
Spoke to you earlier about the Jones Memorial Fund.
Yes.
I'd like to look into that and see what we did do for them last time.
Okay. Now, I can't remember exactly what happened last year. I remember the city got some tickets. I don't know how exactly we did that or what the arrangement was.
That was on the,
We purchased them.
Mr. Temple's in the audience, and he's gonna speak on it later on, but,
Okay. All right, so, yeah, it would certainly be good to have that opportunity again. Again, it's a long-standing tradition of the Jones Memorial Barbecue. All right, I've just got a couple of things. One is something that we've talked about a little bit in the past, but the two items kind of go hand in hand, and so I'll mention this one first because there is some background knowledge that we probably all have. That is in relation to our zip code. Way back when, the city of East Ridge, there was a mistake made by the post office. We were supposed to have 373 zip code, which would identify us as not Chattanooga. Well, we ended up with a 374 zip code, and a couple of other places got that same designation. I would love to see us not change the zip code, but have the post office actually recognize that 37412 is the city of East Ridge rather than the city of Chattanooga. People can still put Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it will get there. Just like today, I get mail all the time that says Chattanooga or East Ridge, and it still gets delivered. Just something to think about and look at as we go forward. The other thing is something that I had written a little opinion about for East Ridge News Online, and you will see something about it in the Hometown East Ridge that'll be coming up probably within a week or so. And that is at least exploring the idea of renaming Ringgold Road. The current name, Ringgold Road, dates back over 100 years, well over 100 years. It was a stagecoach road at one time, connected Chattanooga and Ringgold. I think, in fact I know, that the most important thing about Ringgold Road is not that it takes you to Ringgold anymore. It is the heart of our town. It is the backbone, if you will, of our business community. It's our main artery. So, if it was a side road, if it was something else, I wouldn't mind the name, but it would be like Market Street downtown being Red Bank Road. I mean, really, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It doesn't say anything about us, about the city of East Ridge. So there are some ways that we can pay homage to the past and the historical name of Ringgold Road, and yet update it, make it more appropriate to what we have today and who we are today. Name that I kind of threw out there, Pioneer Parkway. I know I have had, I think all of the stuff going on with football stadium. I think for those of us who have been here a long time, went to East Ridge High School, we have a very strong connection to being a pioneer pride. I think that says more about our community than probably any other name that we could give Ringgold Road. There are examples in other places. Chapel Hill, North Carolina is one. They went and renamed Airport Road in Chapel Hill. What they did is on certain signs, They changed the name. The new name appears larger. Underneath, in a different color, it has Historic Airport Road. We could do the same thing. Officially, the name would be Pioneer Parkway or whatever it might be, and underneath, in a kind of a shaded color, would say Historic Ringgold Road. You eliminate confusion. I think if we have a transition period, I've talked to several business owners, and they say, if you give us time to adjust, we don't have a problem with it. And I think if we have a 12-month transition period where people can use up the stationery and the envelopes and the business cards and everything else that they have currently, we could make that change. I did talk to TDOT, a couple of different people at TDOT, and they said that really they don't need to look into it. They don't need to approve it. All we need to do is tell them what we want the name to be. And they'll make sure that any signage on the interstate or otherwise is reflective of what we want to call it. So, just something I wanted to put out there. I would love to have citizen input on that. Maybe we have a workshop or just some kind of opportunity for citizens to give their input on that. I'm sure we will get a lot of input after the Hometown East Ridge thing arrives. So I have no doubt about that. But again, the overall effort to, we're holding on to our past. We cherish our history, we cherish our past, but at the same time, we also have to look ahead. And again, I just don't think Ringgold Road is the message that we really want to portray. I don't think that's, again, at one time, the most important thing about that road is it would get you from Chattanooga to Ringgold. That's not the case anymore. So, again, just something for everyone to think on. And
the zip code issue, if I may.
Absolutely.
The zip code issue, we would probably need to draft a letter addressing to Congressman Flashman's office. And that would probably be a good thing to do, to draft that and have all of us sign it and forward it to his office. As far as renaming Ringgold Road, I agree with you, and in fact, I like Pioneer Parkway. I think that is a very appropriate name if we do change it.
I appreciate that. I think there's, in the Hometown East Ridge, not the greatest graphic designer in the world, but I know enough to be dangerous. I've created a little mock sign, what it might look like to have a new name, large letters, green background, white letters, and at the bottom, just a darker strip, and inside that, Historic Ringgold Road.
Well, all this ties into the city of East Ridge trying to rebrand itself with the new development and all, and I think that would just be an extension of us trying to rebrand the city.
I agree. I think that is exactly what it would help to do. I think the Pioneer Pride is still alive and well. So we will have, I'm sure, further discussions as we go along, but I wanted to let you all know my feelings on it now, and again, kind of pave the way for that article to come out. And it's essentially the same article that I provided to Dick Cook at East Ridge News Online. Absolutely. That's all I have. So, Chief Williams, do you have anything?
I don't have anything this time.
Okay. We to do that now and then have time for a very brief executive session. So, ladies, if you wouldn't mind. And we have with Maggie Burns. From the Crestwood Garden Club.
To the mayor and to the council, my name is Maggie Burns. I am the Garden Club president of Crestwood. We are here to present a garden plan. First of all, I'd like to introduce, this is Sue Henley. She is a master gardener and she works with garden clubs. I also have Barbara Dottridge here. She's Crestwood Garden Club member. She maintains your atrium with plants and decorations. So we have our representation. Many of you knew Joe Lawrence. Brett, I don't know, maybe you went to school with Mark Lawrence. So we would like to present the plan for a Joe Lawrence Memorial Garden at Camp Jordan. As you may be aware, the Camp Jordan site, the present garden site, Crestwood Garden Club in 2007 started planting at the Camp Jordan site. Over the years, we have planted shrubs and bulbs and flowers. So this last year, it has kind of been neglected. So in talking with Stump Martin, I guess he's not here tonight, we had come up with a plan. So Sue had another master gardener who is a landscape designer draw up a landscape plan. I have a handout for each one of you if you wanted to follow along with what I'm trying to discuss. In your packet of materials, I give you some facts that I'm trying to speak about, and then the landscape plan was done by Tiffany Rowan. She's a master gardener. She's also a landscape designer. So she came up with this plan. We visited the park 2 or 3 times. We talked with Stump Martin several times, had meetings with him, and he told us his ambition and desires, and we expressed to Tiffany our desires. Joe Lawrence's favorite color was pink. So the plan, as you see on the board, and the subsequent pages show the trees and the shrubs that we would like to plant in this garden. Many of them are pink, like the cherry tree and some of the there's pictures there for you to see. So this plan would be done in phases by the Master Gardeners and Crestwood Garden Club members. What we are seeking from you is, on the following page from the pictures, is a work request list. This would be the, what you could call call the grunt work up front, that we had talked to Stump about some of the things that have to be done. He had told us you had planned to add another flagpole. And so this list has to be considered by the council before we can start with the trees and the shrubs. And I know you're probably reading all my notes. So what I'm asking for, the presentation today, is you to review the papers, if you can approve the work request list and the other information that we're presenting to you today, and let us know if we can proceed with this. It is Sue's desire and my desire that we do this in stages. The first stage would be to plant, if you look at the plan, these are big giant trees. So Sue will speak about that. We want to get those planted. The rock planter that is there right now, this feature right here, needs repair. It needs new soil. And then we would pursue planting what Tiffany has designated here according to the papers you have. If you can get the third flag erected, mounted, and placed, then we have another Blue Star byway marker that we would like Stump to place in concrete. And that could go in the garden in front of one of the monuments. And then we would progress with the planting over, I would estimate, a 5-year time. Sue, please say.
Well, we actually have a lot of preparation that needs to be done before we can even get out there and plant the trees. It would be ideal if we could get the trees in the fall, because they're going to have more chance of survival. But we need your all's help in getting them watered. That's going to be the biggest problem with trees, unless they have a really good year of good watering, they're not going to survive. It's hot out there, it's sun all day, so everything that's picked out in this plan should be a lot easier to grow in that condition, but they're going to need watering. And if you'll look at some of the trees that's already been put out there that wasn't really planned well. It was just like, we're going to have to put some trees out there really quick, and you'll look at, some of them are dying. They're already dying. So, as I told Maggie, if we don't get an assurance up front that we can get trucks of water in there to do this watering for these trees, there's no sense in wasting the money. Now, my Master Gardener group is pledging $500 to get started on this project, and Maggie's going to talk about what Crestwood has to offer. But there's some things that we would like for you all to consider in helping us. We are going to do most of the labor. Stump had said that he could help us at least get the holes dug for the trees, because we don't want to start out with little twigs. If we're going to put some trees out there so they have a better chance of survival, we want to get some good sized trees. So we want to put our money to work with some really good specimens. So that's where we want to start first, with the trees. And I think something had been mentioned about a fence going up, but that's something that would have to come from, that you have to discuss with Stump. But so this whole little area, And it's gonna be like, even though it's in honor of Joe, it's also gonna be a place where other people can go and sit, because we have other plans with things that we're gonna do with maybe the brick that Joe had saved from the old elementary school, to make a nice bench out there where people can go in and actually have a quiet time and meditate in this garden. So, we're obligated as Hamilton County Master Gardeners to do our part of the work and to get into a monthly rotation with the garden club to see that the maintenance is continued and all. And we'll be running and making sure that those trees are getting well watered and taken care of. So, if you have any questions for me so far?
I don't think so. Does anyone have any questions? It looks like a wonderful plan.
The plan is a little thick right now, that's why we'll start in stages. And as a master gardener, in looking at, when I first looked at the plan, I thought it was a little too full. But that's a landscape design person, that's what they do, they want to fill in every little spot. Whereas I, as a master gardener, like to see it fill out and grow. So a lot of that will not, some of that will be cut out, and it won't be quite as thick because it's got to have room to grow up. But we're eager to get started, and if we're going to plant the trees, fall is the best time. So
So you need this work basically done before fall is here.
we would like a lot of the preparation to be done by really cold weather. I mean, we can deal with it in a little bit of cool weather, but before really, really cold weather.
What we would like is if Stump can receive approval from the council to do the work request list that is here, then the Master Gardeners and Crestwood can get the trees and get them planted, and we can get that center section done. It is my hope to do a dedication ceremony in the spring of next year. And so and from there, the garden could be added to over the years. Crestwood has $1,500 set aside for the memorial garden. So what we're asking from the council is if you can authorize Stump to do this work request list and mount the memorial marker in concrete and get it placed in the garden. That will be a big step for us. The history on this byway marker, it was purchased by Crestwood when we purchased the Blue Star marker that's in the front here. And Jo had this byway marker in her closet all these past years with the ambition to get it placed. And so we are fulfilling her dreams of this garden. Crestwood, if you do put a fence around the garden, as Stump would like to do, Crestwood will pay for the plaque that will go on the front gate designating it as Joe Lawrence Memorial Garden. That's our basic plan right now. If you have any questions for us, or if you want to email me or phone me, my contact is on the last page for you to talk to us anytime, and we can come back and answer any other questions.
As far as, the way I read this thing, actually, y'all are not asking for no money from the council, just the labor and possibility of this fence.
Actually, we're asking for maybe some truckload of soil to come in once that is dug out. So, but we have such great contacts that with all the people that we deal with Master Gardeners, that we think we're going to, with the money that we have available, we think we're going to be able to make it go a long way with the other people that we deal with. So hopefully, but those are some of the things that we're asking for.
What we're asking the council is the Camp Jordan work request list. And I don't know what the fence maintenance will cost, and I don't know what Stump's expenses would run to empty the
Well, that's
dirt out.
labor, that's what I'm talking about, the labor, so that's the only thing. You're actually asking us for is the labor.
At this
And
time.
possibility of the bills.
Yes.
And then just work with us.
Yes, yes.
Brent, we had this till meeting tonight, had it on.
We can,
Wake up stuff,
yeah, that,
Okay. Is he gonna be here tonight?
no, stuff is not gonna be tonight, it's something that didn't come up.
I didn't notify him, I apologize, I assumed he would be
He
here.
normally is.
But he's aware of this list.
We've met with him a couple of times, so.
we can certainly add it to, the agenda for next time,
Yeah, we'll do that.
which will be September 24th,
September 24th.
2 weeks from today.
Okay, do you want us to come back?
It probably, I mean, you can if you want to, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea, just in case we do have any questions. But yeah, we'll definitely have it on the agenda for that evening.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, and we're going to adjourn the agenda session, have a very quick executive session, and be back as quickly as we can. If anyone anticipates wanting to speak during citizen communication, we have a little sign-in sheet over here. If you don't have opportunity to sign the sign-in sheet, certainly we can ask for people at that time during citizen communication. So, thank you very much. We'll